What up guys, Bass Drop Keys, your friendly neighborhood Negro, and I want to welcome you guys back to the channel. I want to take this time to invite all of you to come join my Patreon. If you watched the video I posted a couple days ago, the barbecue sauce video, in the beginning of that video I said that YouTube can stop my monetization, can shut down my channel anytime they want, and that's what they done. It just so happened that the day that I put out that video, they stopped my monetization that day. So my channel is really being supported by my Patreon patrons, and I really want to thank them right now. If you want to see your name on the screen, just like you see the rest of my Patreon patrons, come join. You can join for as little as $5 a month. You get access to me 24/7, meaning if you ever have a question about anything, you can just inbox me and I'll inbox you back right away as soon as I see it. Also, you'll get to see the new videos first before anybody else. And I do a monthly Patreon giveaway, and that's going down in a couple days. So for all the people that was on my YouTube membership program, thank you very much. Come join the Patreon. If you find my videos helpful, if I've helped you in any way, if I helped you start a business or just taught you how to do something in general, come join the Patreon. It really does help since YouTube stopped my monetization. It really does help doing all the videos. I really appreciate you guys. Now let's get to today's video. Much love. All right, so the first thing that we did is I preheated the oven at 425 degrees. You want to wash your sweet potatoes by rinsing them with water. Now we're using 4 sweet potatoes right here, or 2 pounds. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a fork after you wash them, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna puncture holes in the sweet potatoes all around the sweet potato, right? So you want to puncture holes with a fork, and then what we do is we're going to wrap them in aluminum foil, and we're going to place them in this baking dish that you see right here. Now there's been some recipes that tell you to puncture the sweet potato, then place them inside the oven right on the rack. Do not do that, because when the juices come out of the sweet potato, it's going to go all over your oven, make a big mess, and you don't want that. You don't want that. You want to wrap them up with aluminum foil and go ahead and put them inside of a dish, and then we're going to put them in the oven for an hour. You're going to bake these for an hour at 425. Okay, once you do that, you're going to take them out of the oven and you're going to let them cool for 20 to 25 minutes. If you start handling them right away, they are steaming hot. They're really hot. So what you want to do is let them cool for 20-25 minutes. When you come back and we're gonna remove the skin, peel the skin. The skin comes off very easy if you do it this way. You don't even have to rinse them with cold water or anything like that. Once you bake them for an hour, let them cool, open them up, and you just cut them with a knife or just peel the skin off. It comes off very easy, no problem. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do after you remove the skin is we're gonna go ahead and put our sweet potatoes into a bowl. You're going to add all the ingredients that I put on the ingredient list into the bowl. Remember, if you want to see all the ingredients and the exact measurements, make sure you click the link in the description. It's going to give you everything. Now, the recipe that I'm giving you is for 2 pies. Obviously, if you want to do 1 pie, you just cut it in half. But we're adding butter. You can use canna butter if you want to. This is regular butter. We're using sugar. You can use canna sugar if you want to. This is regular sugar. We're using brown sugar, evaporated milk, eggs, nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla extract. And the way that I'm medicating this is with using some canna oil. But once again, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. If you want to make a regular, awesome sweet potato pie, just don't put the oil in there. Use the exact measurements that I'm using, and you'll have a fantastic pie. The last thing that we did put a pinch of canna salt in here. Once again, if you don't want to medicate it, just put a pinch of regular salt. So once you have everything into the bowl, we're going to use our hand mixer in order to beat everything in. One thing that I forgot right now to mention was the eggs. I did not put in here because once we get everything mixed together and blended together well, we're going to add in the eggs one at a time. So you put everything on the list inside of the bowl except for the eggs. Mix that together well, and then once that's mixed well and blended up, you go ahead and open the eggs, put those in one at a time, and blend those together and mix it in that way. Okay, so once you do that, we have everything that we need. The one tip that I want to give you that you can do is that whenever you're doing this, if you feel like it's maybe too wet and it needs to be, thickened up a little bit, you can add a 1/4 cup of flour to your mixture, and that will thicken it up some, because we're using 4 sweet potatoes, which you're supposed to be using about 1 pound per pie, so 2 pounds. But sometimes if your potatoes are bigger, then it'll be a little bit too wet. And like I said, just put a 1/4 cup of flour inside your mixture if you need to, and that will thicken it up. So once you have that done, everything mixed together well, let's go ahead and put it inside of our pie shells. Now, you can use regular pie shells if you want to. You can use graham cracker pie shells if you want to. You can use sourdough. There's all kind of pie shells that you can use. It's really totally up to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pour this in our pie shells right here. We're going to bake this at 350 degrees for an hour. 350 degrees for an hour. So once you take out your sweet potatoes that we baked beforehand, I like to bake mine rather than boil them, because to me it gives them more flavor. Once you do that, it was at 425. Go ahead and lower it down to 350 so it can start preheating at 350. But we're going to bake this at 350 for 60 minutes or 1 hour, or until your knife, you put it in the center, it comes out clean. It's going to be fine. Now, whenever you take it out, it's going to be puffed up, kind of like a souffle kind of, but don't panic, don't worry, it's fine. When it cools down, it will sink. You let it cool for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and you're good to go. It's ready to go, no problem. Now, as far as how much THC are actually in my pies right here, I use 1/3 of a cup of canna oil inside of these particular pies. So I know that I put 272 milligrams into the pies. So because I did 2 pies, and each pie is going to be 8 slices, that means that each slice is actually 17 milligrams. I really want them to be like 15 to 20, so that's fine. Each slice is about 17 milligrams of THC. But like I said, you can make this a lot more potent if you want to. When I'm doing mine, I'm not really trying to get faded or off of one particular thing. When you having a meal, if you want to do every item at a certain amount of milligrams, by the time you have your whole meal, you're thoroughly medicated and everything is great.